You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Yeah, I jump out the booth. Then I might hop through the roof. Count on the rings. My team is the truth, but they some liars to you. And they never sing, but they always shoot. And all of their diamonds are new. And that's why I'm here with villain, cause I really get it. And I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pass for my boys. Deep be hating and talking and hating. I bet you.
US Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. First quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Got a man. It's Tunyon. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Down to the 42, 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the delay, Jones. And he they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Their bread and butter is their passing game. After that last play, maybe they need to go back to that passing game.
Well, what's been good for them along the way is they understand their identity. They are a passing team, but they do like to mix in the run every now and then just to keep people off balance. Didn't work very well on that one, but all in all, I like their philosophy.
That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
Here we go.
They'll start out here with the option left. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down. Mon now off of play action. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Mon. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. CD, what a sensational start for this defense. Instead of just forcing the 3 and out, which they were about to do, they pick it off and take it in for the score.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't just settle for the standard good way to start a game. They started in dramatic fashion. Take it away, score points, and guess what? They'll be flying to go back out there on defense again after that play.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0.
Pat O'Donnell set to kick off.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Well, this defense for the Packers, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Mon looks to throw. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A gain there of 30 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Mon going to throw it. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 33-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mon swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he's going to get this down near the 25. The Vikings at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they come in off a disappointment last time out. That put an end to their modest 3-game win streak.
The key for them, generating offense and finding a way to put the ball in the end zone. I mean, you get held under 10 points in your last game. Very hard to win in the NFL. Frankly, it's very hard to win in any league scoring that few points.
Now a throw in the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Back to the air, Mon. And this throw will be intercepted. And the Packers are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, they couldn't hang on to the pass.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. That'll go as a 42-yard punt. They'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
From just shy of midfield, Mon eluding the pressure right. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He was certainly quick to atone for his early game interception. Instead of making another mistake forcing something, he reset himself and found a lane to pick up the 1st down.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run the counter with Cook. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop. Now Mond. It's caught. Smith. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So it's stopped for no gain. And that's going to make it fourth down. Now the Packers going to take another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to one remaining. Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3. Here's Mond. They're going for it. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he is going to pick up the Vikings first down as they wind up getting 13 there on fourth down. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And this is Shepard on the catch. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Cook now off the read option. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. Third down, here's a run by Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater.
Oh, they pitch to the tight end. It's a fake. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. His throw caught at about the 5. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Jones is in. Touchdown, Packers. The first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes our score 17-0.
17, Vikings nothing.
After the touchdown, on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. Like you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in the break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Mon. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
On 2nd and 10, Mon. And it's a fumble, and the Packers pick it up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Brian Asamoah working his way in to pick up the sack.
It's 2nd down.
Hey, 626.
After the sack on 1st down, Rodgers finds his receiver, Watson.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Rodgers. Over the middle, it's complete. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
On play action, now Rodgers. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be second and a couple. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. From the 4, it's second and a couple. Look at this, a tight end carry. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal.
Stop short of the goal line. First and goal at the 1-yard line.
Now Jones. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be second and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? Third and goal. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Sliding out of the pocket. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 50. 30. 10. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return. A scoop and score for the Vikings. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. And they'll accept that penalty. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And some room to maneuver. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones. He has career touchdown number 78, tying it with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gould. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Keneduagu now out of his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. And that one is going to sting. First play of the 3rd quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this 3rd quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. You come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key. Crucial. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. From midfield, here's Rodgers. He'll check it down, complete to Dillon. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone.
Nwangu on the return. The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation. But they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Once he broke through that first wave of defenders, there was a pretty big gap there for him to run.
And it helps that they run a dime defense. That's 6 defensive backs. So this is why a lot of teams now are searching for those linebacker safety combo type guys who can add a little bit more size on the defensive side of the ball, but can still run as well, because when you run against 6 DBs with some bigger offensive linemen, you often get this result.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
It's 3rd and 7. Here we go.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
On 4th down, Mon. Looking here for Smith downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles, and I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the 3rd quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he is down at the 48. A pickup before that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Hey, 626!
To throw, it's Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And some room to roam now. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Cook, they'll try and run it, and he will not make it to the goal line. The defense holds him here. And this is still a 3-score game as the lead remains 18. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The carry here for the big tight end. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Rodgers. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No. What was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Bond out of the shotgun. And that will be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
They're going to try and throw. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' first down. It's a gain of 12 on 4th. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Now a throw here to his running back. And some room to work. And past the 40. It's out of bounds. Pick up there at 22.
That turned into a orchestrated play right there. He worked his way on the backfield to the rim. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
Two first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. They go play action here. Mon. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
But you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Glad to have you with us from Minneapolis. 3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10. Bond going to throw it. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Eric Stokes. Trotty! And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Extra point attempt here still to come. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order order to get home or to their final destination.
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Third and 3.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Let's go.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And now here is another interception. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score Packers 45, Vikings 13.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Nuwanger now from his end zone.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 17.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the...
Ready, play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Ready.
From the gun, here's Mon. And my goodness, another interception. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping them running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet.
And it's a Packers touchdown. But Charles, in this win, they've really just had one speed, and that's been all out. They're still driving the ball downfield despite the circumstances in the big lead, and they just continue to find ways to get into the end zone with ease.
They're certainly in that zone where almost everything they try is successful and often leads to points. Teams don't get those types of games very often, so when they do, many of them just want to take advantage of it to the last second.
Vikings 13. Pat O'Donnell set to kick off.
After the touchdown, on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback. And they'll begin at the 25.
25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about it. And now here is another interception. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing the Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Mon looks to throw. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the fourth quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I'd get the backups in there if it were me.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Down.
Fourth down, fourth quarter. Here's Mond. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, and they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Eric Kendricks, his second sack of the night.
I wonder if they're wandering back to the huddle thinking to themselves, can we just hit rewind and go back a play? Definitely not the down they wanted to begin this drive by giving up a sack. But for the defense, that's exactly how they drew it up.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings 20. 165 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Touchdown, Packers. Robert Tonyan, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds on the return way back at the 11.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right, throw it out there. Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 1st and 10, here's Mon. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now Mon. And that's complete to Shepard. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last, and make it a successful one in some small way.
Well, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, this has been a
Packer pressure, and down he goes.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Slot man moves right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Here's Mon. They're going for it.
That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
That's caught at the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one good for 37 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Rodgers throwing here. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Point after here coming up. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
The score, Packers 69, Vikings 13.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to...
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
It's a and miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it.
Whenever I touch down.